Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our business communication series. We will start types of communication, that how many types of communication we have. But in today's lecture, we will talk about only the first type of communication, which is verbal communication. We will learn that what is verbal communication, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of verbal communication. So, verbal communication is the process of sharing information, ideas, thoughts, or feeling through spoken words. So, whatever is presented, given, or explained through the spoken words, that is called verbal communication. So, it involves one person speaking and another person listening. So a simple example is like your managers say, please complete the project report by Friday, for example. If someone tell you that please bring me a cup of tea, that's all spoken words, and that's called verbal communication. So verbal communication has two types. One is face-to-face communication. This happens when like people talk directly to each other in person. For example, classroom discussion, office meetings, conversation with friends, job interviews, or customer service at a store. So this is like all face-to-face communication, which is a subtype of verbal communication. And we have a second subtype of verbal communication, that's communication through technology. So people also communicate like verbally using technology. Examples are communication through telephone calls, Zoom meetings, video conferences, Microsoft Team meetings, Google Meet, voice messages. These all are communication through the technology. So this was the second type of verbal communication. And some of the advantages of verbal communication, we can say like immediate feedback. So we can receive whenever we have verbal communication or face-to-face communication or through the technology. In verbal communication, we receive feedback very fast. If we are talking to someone and he has a question about something and about topic, about the report or anything, he will ask that question or concern right away. So that's the one advantage, that we receive a immediate feedback. Second advantage of verbal communication is that it saves time. Like speaking is usually faster than writing a long email or report or any other types of communication, so it saves time. It helps build the relationship. Like for example, whenever we are talking directly with the people, it helps us to develop trust, teamwork. It is good for building the relationship. The fourth advantage is easy problem solving. Issues can be solved or resolved quickly through discussion. Like if someone is talking face to face to someone, so if there is any problem or issue, it can be resolved quickly rather than through the email or through other communication. And also the last one is flexibility. The speaker can adjust the message if the listener looks confused or ask for more information. There's more flexibility in verbal communication. Like if you think that the topic is really hard, and if you think that the next person who is a listener does not understand whatever you are saying or what are you are talking about, you can adjust your words. You can use simple words. You can use other methods to make him understand. So that's the flexibility. And verbal communication has some disadvantages as well. We will start from the first one, which is no permanent record. Unless the conversation is recorded, there's no written proof of what was said. That's one disadvantage, sorry, because there is no permanent record unless you record it or unless you write it down. Second misunderstanding, second advantage is misunderstanding. People may misunderstand some words, pronunciation, or meaning. Sometimes whenever you're not clear, maybe some people who are listening to you misunderstand what you are saying, or maybe they will not understand the pronunciation. The third disadvantage of verbal communication is language barriers. Sometimes it happens that the speaker and listener do not share the same language. So, in this case, communication becomes more difficult. And also, we have another disadvantage, which is poor listening. If the listener is distracted or not paying attention, so in this case, important information may be missed, and there's no record, or nothing was written down. So in that case, it has some bad result. And also we have emotional reactions. So for example, anger, stress, or frustration can affect how messages delivered and understood. These were some of advantages and disadvantages of verbal communication, and also what was the verbal communication. So in next lectures we will talk about the other types of communication as well. Stay with us. Thank you so much.